Hi, welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're ready for another meeting. Today we finalize our special month, our special edition about domains, web hosting, and the issue we had with web hosting provider Hostinga, with a bit of a resume of everything that we have discussed through the month. And we will talk about, give you tips about choosing your domain, how to register, choosing your web hosting, and all these little guidelines. So next time you have to choose your own domain, you don't fall into a trap like me and my client did. So grab your coffee or tea, come in. The meeting is about to start. And I now declare the meeting open. We start with domains. So we are talking about, again, about this domain in web hosting. Me and my client, we come to realize that we have a lot of things that are not quite clear um, in this area, and sometimes we may feel a bit lost when we actually need to um, register our own domain or change a web hosting company, and sometimes we may fall into a trap because um, we find a company that looks like is too good to be true, and it's usually the case. It's not true at all. It's not good at all, should I say? And with these videos and with this month, I think the main goal was to let you know of all the things that can go wrong and what can we do so those things don't happen. So first of all, we need to choose when we need to choose our own domain once again, and that's basic. Choose a domain that it is your business, that it tells about your business, that it's you and it's what you do. Then once you change your business, you choose your domain, and you choose if you want, for example, a country code, a top level domain such as my client, or if you just want a general .com or something else. Once you choose exactly what you want, make sure you verify all the regulations attached to that type of domain. So if you need verify if you need to comply with certain rules, for example, like with .com.au, that you need to be an Australian business and provide your ABN and provide proof that you are actually a business registered in Australia. Uh, Check all those requirements if you need them. What do you need? Then check pricing. Different companies may offer you different pricing in terms of registering domains, in terms of transferring domains, and then renewing domains. We realized that there was something quite unclear here, and most of us had the idea that once you transfer your domain, you're already paying for 1 year subscription rather of that domain. We found out that that's not always the case, and sometimes you may be paying for the transfer and then they may be charging you for renewal. um, I honestly say I still don't understand why they do that like that, but that's the regulations, and I came to find out that it is actually the case. Then sign in with companies that are registered in your country. This is one of the things that I think is so important. If they have an office in your country, or if they are registered in your country, if they have a phone number where they can be contacted by the authorities in your country, chances are, if something goes wrong, you can actually go to your local authorities and they can help you solve the problem, and they can help make that company accountable for any bad practice. If you sign in with a company that has no way of being contacted uh, by an authority, and it's not registered in your own country, you may fall into a trap. This is actually what happened to myself and my colleague, or should I say my client, with Ostinga, was that they don't have an office in Australia, they are not registered in Australia, and the Australian Small Business Commissioner could not contact them directly. So make sure the company is registered in your country or have a delegation in your country, something like that. Make sure they can be made accountable. That's what I mean. If they are registered in your country, or if they have a way of being contacted, they have a way of be made accountable for any bad practice. And then ask questions. Ask plenty of questions, even if they sound silly to you. Well, it doesn't matter. Have them in writing because it may be used as an evidence if something goes wrong. This is what happened, and it was actually the good thing about Ostinger not having a phone contact. And I must say, even if they did, I would much prefer to contact them via email or via the chat, because you have everything in writing. Everything in writing is an evidence. They cannot run away from something they wrote, from something that you have in your possession, that it was exactly what they said, and they can't run away from that because that's what they said. It's there, it's written. So have everything in writing. Ask plenty of questions. Ask uh, um, before you sign in. Ask specifically, my domain name is such and such. What are the charges that I will incur with this particular domain? Do I have to pay for transfer and then renewal? Do I just pay one fee? What do your hosting plan offer? Do I have access to WordPress? Do I have um, email services? What can I do? What do you offer me? What does this plan offer me? Ask all possible questions. Even if they sound silly, doesn't matter. They may sound silly, but they may um, spare you from a lot of heartache. Me and my client realized that if we had asked a lot of these questions in the beginning, we may have been spared of all this heartache and all this stress that it cost us. So I think it's very important to ask questions. We didn't ask because we were not aware of all these things. Sometimes you need to go through something like this to see all the problems you can encounter. So that's why we did this special edition of our meetings, and explain exactly what we went through and exactly what questions you need to ask, so you avoid going through the same hell that we went through. So I hope you really take advantage of our tips, and that our bad experience can serve at least to warn you not to have it. And I now declare the meeting closed. I hope, once again, that all these tips, this special edition that we had this month of June, helped you understand all the things about domains and hosting and web hosting, and obviously were a guideline for you when choosing a new hosting plan or registering your domain. Me and my client were not aware of this, and through this horrible experience, we learned so much about this, and that's why we both decided that this needed to be told. Our story needed to be told so other people could avoid falling into this trap that was horrible. It caused us so much stress, and we obviously want to avoid that to others. So I hope it was really helpful, and that it prevents you to have an experience as horrible as ours. So But if you have any questions in regards to any of these, please feel free to leave your comments below, or share any experiences that you had, or maybe some other things that we may still not know about this subject and that you encountered and that are also very important that we all know. Before I go, please put a like, put a like, the algorithm, that story. And subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you receive a notification of every meeting every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. See you next week. Have a good one. Bye.